We all appreciate America's help in defending us from the fiendish Japanese. But is there a hidden price that we have to pay? Tune in to this 7:30 report to find out more. At the start of World War II, our soldiers were supporting Britain, just like as we did in World War I, in the days when Andrew Fisher said that we would support Britain to the last man and the last shilling. 3 years ago, we sent many troops over there and they participated in major battles. For example, the Rats of Tobruk are justly famous for their huge efforts. We thought at the beginning of World War II that all we needed was one big strong ally we have had for years, Britain. That all completely changed when the fall of Singapore happened. Imagine everyone's surprise when Japanese forces strolled into Singapore almost in the blink of an eye. Not just Britain, but their allies Australia, India and many more who had come to depend on them were shocked. Japan, with its superior leadership and stronger will to win, took Singapore with half the soldiers that Britain had, nearly running out of food and ammunition, in their lightning sweep down Malaysia. Australia had rushed reinforcements to Singapore just in time for it to surrender. Around 100,000 soldiers were captured and huge numbers perished in the shocking conditions building the Burma Railroad for the Japanese. It was a huge blow to British pride and the confidence others had in them. The next disaster came soon after and poor Australia came under direct attack from Japan. They bombed Darwin and even parts of Sydney, killing hundreds of civilians. What did we do?
10 planes and killed over 240 civilian and military personnel.
Despite Britain being a traditional ally, it is clear we couldn't rely on them in the Pacific War, as their efforts had been spent in Singapore and they still had their own problems to face in Europe. We needed to form a new ally as soon as possible. We quickly withdrew most of our soldiers from the European theatre, and as part of our defensive measures, we formed an alliance with USA. As evidence of USA as a friend, everyone thoroughly appreciates their leadership in the Battle of Coral Sea and the Battle of Midway, both of which happened only a few months ago. We needed to win the vital Battle of Coral Sea as it was off the coast of Queensland. Without USA's help, we would not have won it. The Japanese military plan was to invade Port Moresby in southeast New Guinea, which they couldn't do by sea after their defeat in the Battle of Coral Sea. They were forced instead to use the trickiest option, land. But Australia and USA intercepted the Japanese forces along the now famous Kokoda Trail. Both sides suffered damage, but the Japanese forces didn't have enough planes to cover the port of Moresby, which resulted in an Allied victory. The turning point in the Pacific War was the Battle of Midway, which was a naval battle between USA and Japan. Australia's role was to support USA through bases and supply of food and water. The result was a convincing United States win, with the destruction of no less than 5 Japanese aircraft carriers, which severely and permanently damaged Japanese naval forces. Japan lost more equipment and suffered roughly 10 times the casualties compared to US. So it seems everything has been going well with the Australia and US alliance. Not exactly. Not everything has been going to plan. This has been proved by the Battle of Brisbane that only finished yesterday, a 2-day rioting battle between Australian soldiers and civilians and USA soldiers. It caused several injuries and even one death. There is a common quote describing the Americans in Australian society: oversexed, overpaid and over here. Some Australian women like Americans more, as they are wealthier and the women are grateful towards them for helping Australia. What some women like, some question the possible arrogance of American men, swaggering around with their power and money. In conclusion, there is no question that we have benefited from the alliance with USA. Or otherwise Japan would have taken over Australia and would have all been eating sushi. Not such a bad idea. But as evidence, the alliance hasn't been perfect. What will happen in the future with this alliance? If there's any future world conflict, Australia and America will almost certainly get together based on our current successes, and Australia might allow the Americans to train on their bases. For example, if China were to pose a threat, then our alliance with America would get stronger. Thank you for watching this detailed 7:30 report on Australia's international relationships. This is Ben, signing out.